Hi. I recently posted a tweet about going to an art therapy workshop thing, and in the tweet I said I did a picture like this, which was inviting me to write my name. And in that tweet I talked about some of the impacts that doing that picture of drawing my name had on me. And one of them was that I had an insight that the line between me and not me is non-existent. And Catherine asked me, am I able to say a bit more about the non-existence of a line between me and not me? So I kind of thought a tweet's a little bit too restricted to answer that question. So here I am, answering the question via a video. So, the line between me and not me is non-existent. Let's talk about that. Let's presume that you are doing what you're doing, which is watching this video, and you are having an experience of this video. The video is a bunch of random, if we look at it really carefully, almost completely random waves of light and vibrations of sound, if you're listening to it in audio, coming at your senses. The vibrations of sound and the waves of light, we could temporarily call them objective reality, and then the receiving of that information into your experience of this video is your subjective reality of this video. So basically, any meaning you're taking from the sounds that are coming at you from my voice is your subjective experience. You are making those sounds meaningful on the basis of all your experience up until this point, including memory, your capacity to understand certain sounds that are actually words, linguistic meanings, blah, 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 blah. What I would like you to do as you're experiencing this video is find the line where your experience, your subjective experience of this video ends and the objective reality of the sound and sight of this video begins. Try and find that point where what you're looking at, your involvement of what you are looking at ends, and the pure, raw, you-less stimulation or stimulus of the video begins. What I noticed as I was doing this picture was these things here were apparently other people, symbolically representing other people's perceptions of me. This was where my name was. And the blue ones are what I was imagining experiencing, the positive perceptions of others. And these black arrows were my feeling of being negatively seen by others. And as you can see, even the positive ones are quite sharp. And I described in the tweet that I felt quite, in this experience of doing this picture, I realized I felt quite restricted or limited by the perceptions of others. But as I was doing this, I realized that these perceptions of the judgments of others is also me, that's me. So to put it in a different way, I am projecting the thought that people are judging me onto others. Maybe I see someone across the street. Let me be more realistic. I go to dance therapy kind of stuff, and sometimes I'm dancing and I'll see someone who's maybe looking at me, and in that moment I have the thought that they're thinking something about me. I don't know if they're thinking anything about me. All they are is a bunch of colors and moving colors, really. And even that's subjective, I guess. But I project this fantasy that they're thinking something about me, good or bad. But that is me. So I'm not seeing that person in that moment. I'm not seeing a person judge me. I'm seeing me judge me. and I'm projecting it and making a kind of a cognitive error, presuming that they're thinking that. I'm thinking that. I am thinking that they're thinking that. So I am, in seeing them and having the fantasy that they're judging me, I'm actually seeing me. So then it's like, so I have, you can't really see it, but my name is written in each of these arrows that represents others. Because in seeing others and experiencing others, I'm also experiencing me. There is no way to separate my view of what another person is from who they really are objectively separate from me. It's really hard to find the line where I end and they begin. In the same way as you're watching this video, it's where do you end and the video begins? Where's that line? And I think, I haven't gotten into the whole Buddhist element of this, but in terms of Buddhism and mindfulness and stuff, that's kind of the root destination that mindfulness gets you to, that the separation of me and not me is a fantasy, that it's all interconnected, so that finding a place where I end and something else begins becomes impossible, and maybe an unhelpful question. So even the question of where do I end and something else begins, the Buddhists would say is perhaps a wrong question, but useful to pursue because you realize it doesn't really have an answer. So Catherine, that's a not tweet length answer to your question of saying a bit more about the non-existence of a line between me and not me, in the sense that there's no line between you watching this video and the video itself. There's no way you can find that line. Well, you could try. Maybe give it a try and see if you can find where you end and the video begins. I'm proposing here that line doesn't exist. So that's all I wanted to say. Have a good night.